Hey everyone, we're back again for another character breakdown. Just 2 more to go, Mir. 4 characters have been revealed for Street Fighter 6, and today we're going to discuss Dee Jay. We've already covered JP and Marisa, so if you guys missed out on that, that's already on the channel. Also guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because Street Fighter 6 is our lives right now. And we're covering everything
and it will be for
about the game.
Next few years.
So Dee Jay, man, we got a lot of footage on Dee Jay actually, Amir, because Capcom has been releasing more footage on their Twitter. So we're going to combine that in with this breakdown. So the first thing I want to mention is I'm so happy that they're adding that beach stage that we got a preview of on the World Tour intro. It looks so good, man. The sunset, everyone's dancing, everyone's so happy, Mir. Maybe it's just like, you know, because I live in Canada, but I don't know. I'm really happy with the stage.
I think it fits Dee Jay's theme perfectly and it looks very good.
We see the maximum bar as well. And everyone's dancing and happy despite there being like, I don't know, a street fight going on. I guess people don't care. So let's get straight to discussing Dee Jay's gameplay, Mir. There's a lot to talk about here. So it looks like dancing will be a part of Dee Jay's moveset this time. He'll be a lot different than previously in like Street Fighter 4, for example. It looks like he's going to be more of a tricky zoner. You know, he is still a zoner, it seems, but he's got a lot of moves that are going to throw the opponent off. The big question, Mir, even after looking at this footage, is he going to be a charge character or a hybrid?
I feel like based on what we've seen so far that he might be a hybrid character, because in the clip where we see Dee Jay's fireballs, it does appear to be charging, but we know also that his Jus Cool move that has been shown off in the footage that we have doesn't need any charge. We see him just do it off of a cancel.
Yeah,
and I think it makes sense because in the past they've experimented with Dee Jay being completely a motion character with Street Fighter 4 Omega, and naturally before that Dee Jay was a complete charge character instead.
Yes. So the first footage I want to talk about, Mir, is the most recent footage they posted on Twitter. They showed off Dee Jay's new move, Jus Cool. I think we should discuss this first. I'll make the rest of the video easier to do. So this Jus Cool move, it's a new move to Dee Jay, and this is the description. It's a retreating sway that can lead into kicking attacks or forward moving maneuvers that will test his opponent's tempo. Now, there is a lot of variations to this move, so I guess I'll just quickly go over all the variations here and then we can talk about it. The first thing, no matter what, Dee Jay sways backwards. And then when he sways, he has one option where he can sway back and then he just stops. So I'm assuming this is like a no input follow-up. And he doesn't sway back very far, but then it could just be in the footage them stopping immediately after he does the sway. And then the next part, he can do a sway back and then he goes into a low kick. I'm going to assume that this hits low. Also from the commentary audio, it mentions a low kick. You can sway back into an overhead kick. I think this is his waning moon, Mir, that we were talking about in the commentary audio leak as well. I'm sure this is a medium kick follow-up. The low kick is a light kick follow-up. And then the heavy kick follow-up, he sways back into a launcher kick. So this would be like your combo filler going into more damage, right? If you know you're going to strike a hit. And then
or with punishment.
Yes, and it doesn't stop there. He also has a sway back into a dash forward. I don't know what input this would be, probably a punch button. And then he's got a sway back into dash forward into sway back. So this is really nuts. This makes me think of something like Dudley or Slayer.
This is basically a mix-up stance, right? And then you'd probably be able to do it off of certain cancels and maybe even have a guaranteed mix-up opportunity, right? Maybe from a heavy cancel, you might have enough frame advantage where the opponent might have trouble interrupting you. And even if they try to interrupt you, what if you do this way and the interrupt just whiffs, right? That's always something that, especially if they want Dee Jay to be a little bit more of a rushdown character. Obviously, the low and the overhead are mix-ups within each other, although they have different timings, and I assume that the overhead is reactable or at least slower. The interesting part about this move to me is that dash forward that he gets off of it. It seems like it's a way to sneak in a throw if the opponent determined to block, and then the dash forward into the dash back, that seems specifically to counter an opponent that is taking a throw, because then the throw would whiff. So it seems especially tricky on offense if this is all true, right? Obviously.
But it seems like he has an option for everything. And on top of this, it clearly looks like Dee Jay is not charging at all for this move. So like you said, if he has charge moves, he'll be able to use this move offensively because he can walk forward into it. And in every situation, he can use it. And this is like a big change to how Dee Jay is going to play in Street Fighter 6. And it completely suits his, dancing style. And we heard so many hints from this in the commentary audio leaks, and we're trying to put together what moves it's coming from, but it looks like this Jus Cool has so much variation to it. So the next clip that they show, Mir, it shows DJ using a combo example with Jus Cool. So he's doing crouching medium punch canceled into the OD version of Jus Cool into, I'm assuming, the heavy kick, the launcher part. And then he goes into a level 1. Now let's just talk about the combo itself. Once again, it's a crouching medium punch, and he's instantly going into it. You can see he's not charging. He could probably go into any kind of follow-up he wants, since he does go into the level 1.
Yeah, the OD version of this move seems to give you enough time to get charged. And we don't know if he has any charged supers, so all his supers are motions now, for example. We see in another clip that he has other options for juggling here.
Yeah.
And one that we don't see at any point, I guess I might as well talk about it right now, is that we never see his jackknife maximum is up kicks.
You know, DJ, him landing combos, a lot of it is like jump in and he has to buffer the charge while he's jumping in. But just him being able to walk up to you and go into the Jus Cool just really opens up the character's freedom for confirming now, you know? So what do you think about this level 1, Mir? Just this one solid hit that knocks him really far back.
It seems to hop off the ground. So I would imagine that it has some evasion on top of invulnerability, right?
Right.
So it might be effective for as a counter poke sort of thing. We know that level 1 supers don't seem to have projectile invincibility anymore. They decided to change that with the latest beta. So I'm curious to see what the purpose of this move is, aside from just being combo filler.
I wouldn't say it's underwhelming because it's one hit. It's just interesting seeing a big one-hit kick from DJ for a super.
The range seems good though, which helps with converting from single normals, because that's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now let's backtrack to the trailer footage here, the first trailer footage. So we see it starts off with DJ doing his crouching heavy kick, his slide. The slide, is it still going to go under fireballs? It helps him move forward while charging if he's a charge character.
Yeah, it seems it still lasts quite a good amount of time, so it will be easier to whiff punish in a game like Street Fighter 6. I would imagine that it would still be very useful to catch an opponent low, especially from range. It might still have that anti-air component that it had in Street Fighter 4, where you used to get a juggle if you hit just with the right spacing.
Yeah,
so,
you can go into like Ultra 2. And ST was a really good anti-air, his crouching heavy kick, because it moved him forward. So the next clip, Mir, we see the machine gun upper. And he's just doing it raw, like we don't get to see any combos after or anything. So the machine gun upper before the input was charge down and then press up and punch, and then you can mash it for more damage, and it did a lot of stun. If you can combo into this thing, it's usually like a stun combo for DJ, but in Street Fighter 6, there's not too much info on what this does.
Unfortunately, in the trailer, we see the move as it has already started up, so we don't see if he's charging for it or not. I would assume that he is, though.
Yeah, and, I made sure to check that too. Couldn't find any hints, unfortunately. But at least we know the machine gun upper is still in the game, because that's a really fun
hopefully
move.
It's an ideal combo ender, because in Street Fighter 4, it was just difficult to use because it didn't have a lot of range, and very often you didn't have the charge to use it in the first place. Going back to Street Fighter 2, instead, it just killed you. So you probably want to find a sweet spot in the middle.
There's a lot to talk about here with the next clip, and this is DJ's Fireball Air Slasher. So I'm going to talk about both clips that we see. So his Air Slasher is normally like a sonic boom motion, charge back, forward punch. But the first obvious thing we're seeing here, Mir, is he's shooting out 2 projectiles. And it's not the OD version, it's shooting out 2 naturally. So what's going on here? And then we see on the other clip, Mir, we now know there's even a feint version where he looks like he's doing the animation, but no fireball comes out.
Right. This is interesting because at first when I saw it, I was a little bit disappointed, because that's honestly, in most cases at least, worse than having a single fireball that is 2 hits, because it means that, you know, the animation is longer, it's easier to jump in on you. It's not as good in Fireball Wars because the second projectile comes later, so it's not as good at defeating someone who's throwing a fireball because they might block in time. A bunch of reasons, right?
Yeah.
But knowing that you can do it naturally without having to spend bar might give him a big advantage in Fireball Wars, because obviously being able to do it all the time, it's a little bit like a bad red fireball, if you will. And it's still very useful in a game where the zoners have really strong fireball tools, like for example Guile and his Sonic Blade. This will help him contend with that quite a bit.
It kind of makes me think of King from KOF, you know? Like the Venom Strike, the double Venom Strike. It's cool. We don't see just a single fireball, so It might be possible that the light punch version of his fireball is actually the feint, and the medium punch is a 1 fireball, and the heavy punch is 2. If you would have full control over doing 1 fireball on 2 and a feint, that'd be very, very strong for his zoning.
If it is a charge move, it would justify this added power. But I'm leaning more towards the fact that he doesn't actually have a single hit fireball, which is why he has a feint, because you would be incentivized to jump in on him because the fireball has long recovery, but instead he can feint it and then anti-air you.
Absolutely. In either case, it still distinguishes the air slasher from a sonic boom. You know, it's a lot different than how Guile would play, which is what Capcom's going for. But I don't want to diminish the power of a 2 fireball non-OD attack mirror. I don't want to make it sound too bad, like we're giving it off. Like having 2 fireballs without spamming the bar, if the opponent, it'll make it hard for the opponent to neutral jump, right? It'll do more chip damage. It could be really efficient if DJ is able to keep the opponent out. Despite it, it's most dangerous when you use it close, right? Because it's so much recovery. So there are some benefits to having.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if the fireballs do full damage each. Actually getting hit by this would be very damaging, right?
Yeah, I hope the OD does 3 fireballs.
One last thing that I want to mention though about the air slasher is that the way it works in Street Fighter 6 is that when someone does an overdrive fireball, regardless of the amount of hits, it will always defeat non-overdrive fireballs. So the fact that the air slasher is 2 hits actually doesn't help against an OD fireball, but it will help against normal ones.
So in the next clip, we see a similar combo that we already talked about. DJ goes crouching medium punch into the OD version of Jus Cool, knocks him up. But instead of doing the level 1 super this time, it looks like he does the Sobot kick mirror, the heavy kick version. Now, before when Capcom gave us the new footage, we couldn't really figure out what this was because we didn't know about the Jus Cool. We thought it could be the OD machine gun upper, but that's not the case, right? So we still don't know if you can combo that way with the OD machine gun upper. Once again, you know, DJ doesn't need a charge, and we don't see him comboing to jackknife like you mentioned. We don't even see the move, which would be something DJ would do in Street Fighter 4 or an ST. So the heavy kick Sobot, what do you think about that, Mir?
It's 2 hits again, like it used to be, and we don't see it land on a grounded opponent, so we don't know if it actually knocks down because it didn't used to knock down in Street Fighter 4. I'm sure that this is mostly for combos. I don't know if it has any innate projectile invulnerability, and I wonder if the overdrive version does have projectile invulnerability, because that's how it used to be in Street Fighter 4.
In either case, the Sobot kick knocks the opponent pretty far away and gives DJ enough time to set up on zoning again. So there was also some extra footage, Mir, on the pre-order bonus trailer. They showed off DJ and Manon footage. So for DJ, they show like a full jumping combo. So he goes jumping heavy kick and then standing heavy punch, and then he links in the standing light kick and cancels that into the Sobot kick, which I'm assuming is the light kick version. The first thing I want to talk about is this standing heavy punch. It hits so high, but it hits so far. You think this whiffs on crouchers? This is like a new heavy punch.
Yeah, I think it probably does, or at least from further away. And I also wonder if it is a command normal of any kind. Like if he loses charge to do this, maybe a forward heavy punch.
Maybe it is a command normal. I didn't even think about that because his heavy punch, I think in Street Fighter 4, it's kind of like an uppercut almost. Since he links in the standing light kick, you clearly can't special cancel this heavy punch normal, right? So that
well,
sounds
at least
like
they don't show it being cancelable in that scenario.
Yeah, like obviously he's going into light kick to get his charge. This means that whatever this button is, he's got to be like at least +5 on hit for it, you know. Like you can use this to link stuff with. So it'd be interesting if it does whiff on crouchers, and hopefully we don't have a Street Fighter 4 DJ situation with whiffing on crouchers. But the light kick Sobot, what do you think about that, Mir?
Okay, so the light kick Sobot knocks down. That's good to see that it's still there, because DJ landing knockdowns from lights is important to his game plan, of course. The other thing about it is that it doesn't seem like he's hopping off the ground very much. So I wonder if it has any low evasion at all, because that was one of the properties that it had in Street Fighter 4, and actually one of his few very unique traits.
Right, I mean, it was a good poke before, but I think there's some redundancy here now with the Jus Cool. Since the Jus Cool has all these kick follow-ups, including that low kick, maybe they just wanted light kick Sobot to be like, hey, if you want to knock them down, you know, this is your kind of go-to move. Okay, let's talk about DJ's supers now, Amir. I'm excited that they showed his level 2 super. We know from the commentary audio leaks it's called Sunrise Festival. Even though we don't really know exactly how it's done, we know this is some kind of rhythm game kind of super that rewards you for nailing the inputs, because we got one audio track that says Sunrise Festival. You gotta nail the inputs to keep this up. and we can see every time DJ lands a hit, we see a music note. We also see he's got this green streak to him, and he's pushing the opponent closer and closer to the corner. This is a very unique level 2 super.
Yeah, I would assume that that you can screw this up and the super ends early. And as we see, the opponent character isn't knocked down at any point during what we see. In fact, we don't even see the end of the super as far as we're concerned. So you might have to get quite a few inputs to get the final knockdown and the big damage.
I really like what they're doing with level 2 supers. They're all pretty unique in this game. A lot of people are going to reference this to Lilith from Darkstalkers, but once again, we don't know exactly how it works. But I think it suits DJ perfectly, Mary, you know, like, because he's kind of showing off and he's dancing. And even though he's not like Dan, it's some way that you can show your opponent your skills, right? And then finally, we see DJ's level 3. It's called Weekend Pleasure. We see that it's very similar to his Ultra 2 from Street Fighter 4, and he even mentions it in the blog too, Mir, that it's a reference to it. And then after he punches the opponent a million times, DJ strikes a pose. He's laying back on the beach, and the opponent falls very far from him. So I'm assuming DJ's not close after the super.
Well, in Street Fighter 4, he pulled out a couple of maracas, and we haven't seen anything about the maracas yet, even though the audio files seem to suggest something about them. So I wonder how those are gonna be implemented in his game plan.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Also on DJ's win pose, he signs his name on the win screen.
Oh yeah, and we see that from the pre-ordered bonus trailer. I really like his signature. I think it's pretty good.
It's really nice. You have to mirror the image because he's like, you know, drawing on a camera or writing it on a camera. So I can show you guys what it looks like. It is a really nice signature, but you know, DJ's famous, so you gotta have a really good signature if you're famous. All right, let's talk about DJ's story a little bit, Mir. So on the main Street Fighter 6 website, it says for DJ, a globally popular dance music superstar, DJ is always ready to have a good time. With a burning love for music and fighting, this Jamaican sensation drives audiences wild with hot new songs and stylish moves. We know there's a lot of references to DJ already in his music because it's highly hinted that Kimberly listens to DJ on her cassette player.
Yeah, there's not much to say about his story, but I do like his new outfit, although I have to say I'm missing the maximum written on his pants.
Oh, don't worry, then he'll have the nostalgia costume for sure, Mir, and then you can rock. You can rock.
I do very much like the flip-flops though. Very stylish.
Yeah, kicking with the flip-flops. Oh, it's great, man. I like the headphones too. But yeah, there isn't much to talk about his story, unfortunately, but I'm sure since DJ is so famous, we'll be seeing him a lot in World Tour, one way or the other. I guess let's talk about now just like the wrap-up of DJ and his playstyle and looking at all this footage. I think they did a fantastic job, Mir, distinguishing DJ from Guile without doing the Nash route of simply saying, okay, let's just make all his moves motion. I think adding that Jus Cool move is great. Adding the whole dance moves, the whole Jus Cool, it really makes him different. And I think now with all the charge characters, assuming DJ is charge, Guile would be like the full zoner traditional charge character. JP is more of a trap kind of zoner, and DJ will be the trickster if that's the case. I think DJ feels like a brand new character now, Mir, and if you're someone who is interested in DJ before, you'll be even more excited, and if someone who didn't play DJ might want to play him this time around. DJ looks very, very fun. I think Capcom's nailing it with the character designs lately. They're insane for Street Fighter 6. Guys, I would love to know your thoughts on the new DJ in the comments below. Do you guys like his new playstyle? Are you guys interested on maining him on day one? Let us know your thoughts, and also if me and Mir missed anything from the footage. We got one more breakdown video to go, Mir. Sorry guys if we didn't get the order you guys wanted. We're nailing these out every single day. So expect the next breakdown very, very soon, guys. Thanks for joining us, and take care. Peace.
Bye-bye.